Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. Baltimore Ravens 23, Cleveland Browns 16. Ravens back to 500 at 5-5, as we predicted. From 1-5 to 5-5, Browns fall to 2-8. It wasn't in the bag until late, though.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, the Browns battled. It was electric in Cleveland. Myles Garrett had 4 sacks. The game winner, though, Mark Andrews, lines up for the tush-push, and then they just run a little sweep, a little tush-push sweep. What a great wrinkle off the tush-push.
It's like a naked bootleg out of the push alignment. It's a bizarre play.
I'm fine with banning pushing offensive players. However, I love the creativity out of that. If you can expand the tush-push package, as the Eagles have shown, or as the Ravens showed in this one, a 4th and 1 from the Cleveland 35 tush-push setup. Mark Andrews runs a little naked boot, sweep, whatever you want to call it, for 35 yards for the eventual, or the game winner, 23-16. A lot of quirky stuff in this game, including Dylan Gabriel going down with a concussion in the NFL debut of Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, and I suppose we'll get to that later in the thing. Let's talk about everything else in the game before we break down the Shedeur Sanders debut blow by blow. But yeah, like it was when the Browns are in games this season, it's because the defense plays out of its mind and weird stuff happens. So, I mean, that was the case here. They got a pick six for the Browns defense, like a drop pass off Keaton Mitchell's hands, lands in the hands of a Browns defender, returns it for a touchdown.
Bush, pick six.
Now you're up 13-3. You know, that's a pretty healthy lead to be working with.
Ravens muffed a punt inside the 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Like stuff was going their way.
They were offsides on a 4th down punt. I mean, obviously a 4th down punt, but on a punt. The Ravens were killing themselves. And then Myles Garrett has 4 sacks.
Yep.
And
still a beast.
He's unbelievable.
He really is.
Not because of the 4 sacks.
No. But he just passed, he recently passed, did pass or tie? Like he had some record recently where he cleared Reggie White. And it's like, okay, Reggie's.
Most
yeah, before the age of,
sacks.
No, it was before the age of something where he cleared Reggie White, albeit Reggie White spent a couple of years in the USFL or whatever. But now the one this time was he just cleared Lawrence Taylor in terms of the most seasons consecutively with 12 or more sacks. I remember a few years ago, like the lack of sacks relative to other pass rushes was being used as a stick to beat Myles Garrett with. All of a sudden, he's now breaking these sack record streaks and stuff. He is just a dominant force. Like he is so unbelievably, stupidly good. And yet, if everything else around him isn't good enough, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think it's worth explaining really quick again. I think the way we look at the game, Myles Garrett is always this good. It doesn't take a 4-sack game, or was it 5 sacks against New England a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
I don't think those games are necessarily better than other games he puts together. The difference is the quarterback holds the ball longer. Like in this one, there was, Lamar Jackson's rolling out and holding the ball forever, and then Garrett's finishing the play. Now so my point is, the dude's dominant every single week. And the difference between having 0, 1, or 4 sacks is how long the quarterback holds the ball. But Garrett is almost always this dominant. So it's not like, all of a sudden he's figuring out how to finish plays. It's like they're also pairing it with a good coverage unit, an aggressive coverage unit that does help the quarterback hold the ball a tick longer. And that's how you sack the quarterback. So trust me, I'm not taking anything away from Myles Garrett. I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying if you're just jumping on the Myles Garrett bandwagon, maybe he is this good. He's always been this good. The difference is then you combine it with a good coverage unit that makes the quarterback hold the ball a tick longer, and you have games where you have 5 sacks and you have 4 sacks, and all of a sudden the Browns defense is making enough plays to keep them in this game where, once again, their offense is inconsistent and it shouldn't have been this close.
He had a game, Mina Kimes tweeted this or posted this, multiple platforms, that Myles Garrett had the fastest get-off of any player in the NFL in a single game this season. It was like 0.6 or something. And to put that into context, the fastest get-off of any player in the NFL this season on average is 0.73, and it's Myles Garrett. So even by his own standards, he was like a 1/10.5 of a second faster on average getting off the line of scrimmage this game and just was wrecking shop. 15 sacks, he's got to be, I mean, we're on record watch.
He's on pace to break the record.
Just about, right? It's 22
I'll just say if someone deserves it, it's him. And like the point I keep trying to make is like the advanced stats that people don't love, pass rush win rate or a PFF pass rushing grade, like those are the numbers.
Don't love them when they don't say the thing they want them to say.
But those are the numbers that are doing the heavy lifting, is my point.
Yeah.
Those are the numbers that are showing the dominance and putting you in position for a game when Lamar Jackson holds the ball for 4 and 5 seconds, you're going to finish with a sack as well. Like Garrett's second or third sack, he destroys Ronnie Stanley. And then Lamar steps up and he's dancing around a little bit and he just doesn't throw it. And then Garrett still finishes the play with a sack. It's unbelievable. So, yes, to get 4 sacks, you need effort, you need finish, you need to win up front. Garrett has all of that. He's awesome. Mm-hmm. And it's the only way that the Browns have a chance to win. Dylan Gabriel goes out with a concussion.
Yep.
Shedeur Sanders comes
in.
Now, there's some people's Shedeur Sanders takes I don't even want to acknowledge.
Oh, can we not? No, let's acknowledge them. We have to.
It's bad for society.
I think we have to draw people's attention. You should go just for the entertainment. You should go to Josina Anderson's Twitter feed and watch the stream of madness that is her description of the Shedeur Sanders debut. It is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
Let me add to this. The stream of madness that you talk about goes back to April. It's not just yesterday.
And
it's
beyond.
Anything related to Shedeur Sanders.
It is absolutely the craziest. I mean,
I don't want you to call attention to that.
No, it's worth it.
I think it's
so funny. It's worth
bad
looking
for society.
at. It's so funny. It's you hear people talk all the time about, you're biased. Like your take is biased. This is the most biased thing I have ever seen in my life. It is like it's like a cartoon level of like warping anything that happened with your description.
Yet
like
predictable.
I sent you the thing. What was the word for word of her description? Here we go. Shedeur Sanders, with hardly any first-team reps this season,
hold on.
throws a pick.
Hold on. I'm bad at interrupting you. Can I just give his stat line first before you break down what?
Sure.
Okay. Shedeur finished 4 of 16 for 47 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He got sacked twice for negative 27.
Yeah.
He had an intentional grounding in there and had a pick.
Yes.
3 carries for 16
But
yards.
despite that, it was a resounding success as a debut if you read the feed of Josina Anderson.
Go ahead.
So that was her description. Like, she's sort of play-by-play tweeting this thing. And a normal person would be like, it's a rough pick by Shedeur. She's like, Shedeur Sanders, with hardly any first-team reps this season, throws a pick. It's some of the craziest slanted, warped interpretation of anything. And then it was like, here was the against all odds 3rd and 10 completion by Shedeur Sanders under 2 minutes. And it's the play where he throws like a late shallow drag to Jerry Jeudy, who then makes 3 people miss to gain 8 more yards and convert the first down. And you're like, what are you saying?
That was the one that was so insane. I didn't even want to call attention that there are people who supposedly analyze the NFL for a living who put that out there unironically.
Yeah.
That upset me.
And then she got like half a dozen tweets talking about the fact that Sanders hasn't had any first-team reps.
Against all odds. So
just in case you wanted to read anything into this.
The 3rd and 10.
Hasn't played with the first team.
The 3rd and 10 check down to Jeudy for 3 yards.
Yes.
So I clicked into it. Like, what did people say to this? Against all odds, 3rd and 10 completion. It wasn't like he
backs against the wall,
throws this tight window throw. He hits this wide open check down and skinny knee Jeudy makes a great play, juking 4 guys to get to the first down marker. So I clicked into it and somebody's like, Jeudy did all the work, and she's like, why are you taking away credit? Why are you hating it? It's like, this is called football. That's called football. It's just understanding football. When you have a check down on 3rd and 10 for 3 yards and the receiver does all the work, you say, hey, the receiver does all the work.
Yeah.
Now you're getting me riled up. This is why we can't bring this
It's
up.
a nothing play.
This is insane.
From Shedeur. Like,
It's
if anything,
absolutely insane.
It's almost a negative play because it's 3rd and 10. He's checking down for 2 yards. Like, Judy makes all that. But anyway,
Elon
it's
Musk
certainly
needs
not
to
a
step
positive.
in. I'm all for free speech, but someone needs to step in on that account.
I'm just saying
It's all misinformation. People argue about misinformation all the time. Her entire account is misinformation.
There are, people are biased in all different ways. And with Shedeur Sanders, there's bias. He's working in every direction. But that is the single greatest stream of madness I've ever seen attached to an account. There's like, I'm going to tweet about this, and everything is going to be in one direction at the 99th percentile of crazy, regardless of the facts that are happening around me. Okay, so
now the other end of it.
Well, if you want to see a crazy interpretation of Shedeur Sanders' debut, I would urge you to just read her timeline. And
it was the best 4 of 16 outing we've ever seen in NFL history per Josina.
Right.
Now, on the other end,
for what actually happened,
I'm sure people are going to say bad interception and 4 of 16 and the sacks and he's running backwards and somebody's going to say this dude's not an NFL quarterback. We'll give you the level-headed take. This was certainly not the best debut for Shedeur Sanders.
And
it's also not like fully inclusive of what he could be.
Yeah. Like, look, the point she's stressing is real, which is this was not an intended debut, right? This was Dillon Gabriel got concussed, and Shedeur has to go into the game, with no experience and no
first team reps.
No preparation and no first team reps. And this was not how you draw it up if you're the Browns trying to get Shedeur Sanders his debut to showcase him in the best possible light. That being said, this is the NFL. This we got to deal with as a backup quarterback, right? If you're the number 2 guy on the depth chart, you are only ever one play away from being thrown in. And that's, it's on you. You hear all the time about these guys preparing as if they're the starter. Now, maybe that's harder to do if you don't get any first team reps, but whatever. This is the world. He's thrown out there. He's got to make it happen. And it wasn't, he wasn't set up in the best light during the game either. Like, I think the first 3 drives, he was facing at least 3rd and 6 and beyond, and that didn't go well, right? But you also saw very clearly all of the negatives people focused on as his sort of prospect profile were still there. And everyone that's been saying, Dillon Gabriel's ass, why are we not seeing Shedeur Sanders? Well, this is why. Like, Dillon Gabriel might be terrible, and yet it's not obvious that Shedeur Sanders is better. Like, and the reason he's not obviously better is because anytime there's any sign of pressure, he either makes it worse or invites the pressure in the first place.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things when we broke down at draft time, which, by the way, you and I both like Shedeur, but we said if he doesn't handle or manage the pocket, or if the Colorado offensive line, which was awful, was so bad that these habits are ingrained in him, he needs to undo these habits. Because I think he's a good thrower of the football, right? I think he can throw the ball accurately and do some good things. But if he's going to keep moving backwards in the pocket with below average, maybe average at best, NFL athleticism, it's not going to go well.
The problem is this felt like a Colorado offensive performance in terms of pressure, and yet the Browns don't have the Colorado offensive line. Like, the concerning element is this looked like the same thing as when his offensive line was so bad you basically can't take anything from the game, and yet the offensive line isn't that bad in Cleveland. It's not great, but it's not like, for example, Dillon Gabriel was under pressure a couple of times in the game, and Shedeur Sanders was under pressure immediately 7 times and got no positive plays out of it.
Now, Gabriel might not be under pressure because he throws the ball too early before his receivers are even looking, but pressure's not going to get there at least.
Right. He knows that ball's going to be out fast. I mean,
I don't want to spend the whole time on this. I'm picturing next week. They're playing the Raiders. Shedeur Sanders gets his first start against the Raiders. He gets sacked 7 times, 4 by Max Crosby. Not even Max Crosby winning. It's because Shedeur drops back to like 12 yards and
then
runs
bails to the right to Max Crosby's side.
And then Josina's like, man, this offensive line's terrible, and they got the worst receivers. And he finishes like 12 of 29 with 7 sacks, and we've got another stream of consciousness excuses when it's just like, yeah, he's a rookie. He's probably not ready to play right now.
It's remarkably
or maybe he's good. Who knows?
Like, it is instructive, the difference between the way Dillon Gabriel was playing the game and the way Shedeur Sanders was playing the game. And look, there's a happy middle ground. Like, actually, if you put the two together, you have the quarterback that you're actually attempting to find, which is a guy who's willing to push the ball deeper down the field, but doesn't hold the ball forever and take stupid sacks, right? Like, Dylan Gabriel got the ball out of his hands on average faster than 2.5 seconds. Shedeur Sanders was over 3 seconds. Dylan Gabriel was not pressured very much at all. Shedeur Sanders was pressured quite a lot. Dylan Gabriel's average depth of target was under 6. Shedeur Sanders, I mean, his wasn't good either, but he at least took a deep shot and put the ball in the hands of his receiver late in the game, which honestly should have been caught and would have been, like, that would have been a big play. It's like, actually, the quarterback the Browns are looking for is an exact composite of those two guys.
It's a great example how two different quarterbacks can, stylistically be completely different. The offense looks completely different because they approach it with different style. And it's not that the play calls have been different. They didn't call different plays. I mean, they called different plays technically, but not like the bad plays.
And by the way, that's probably why the Browns didn't think either one of these guys was really an answer to their quarterback position, or why they both went after the first couple of rounds of the draft, because each one of them has a glaring critical flaw that the other one has the opposite of. Like, if you put them both together, you've got a first-round draft prospect. If you take them as they are, apparently neither one of those guys is a high-level guy based off this one short, small sample size of evidence.
So my hot take is he's probably better than a 4 for 16 quarterback, net 20 passing yards on 18 dropbacks. I think he's probably better than that.
Yeah.
But we did see in the preseason games like that, right? He dropped back 12 times, got sacked 5 times. Like, that's the type of stuff. If he gets a start next week,
we've seen he's capable of better than this. And if you did give him a very good offensive line level of protection, I think you would see a guy who is capable of pushing the ball down the field and making some really good throws. The problem is, this game is possible in any situation.
Yeah.
And we saw that in his college tape all the way. We saw it in preseason, and now we've seen it in the regular season. Like, this was the thing that people were identifying and were like, this is too bad to succeed at the NFL. But we weren't certain in college how much of that was the offensive line, because Colorado's offensive line was abysmal. So the question was, and this is a big part of, like, is he a first-round player? Is he a fifth-round player? I mean, nobody thought he was a fifth-round player, but, other things dragged him down that far. But it's like, is he a first-round guy? Is he a day 2 guy? Is he a day 3 guy? The variable there is, how much of his college behavior do you attribute to the offensive line versus him? The fact that he's done it in preseason and in his regular season debut, however short, suggests at least a pretty large chunk of that is him. And if it is, that's prohibitive. Like, that does not work at the NFL level. Cannot do that.
Going back to put a bow on this, as I like to say, my lukewarm take for those tuning in just to hear about Shedeur Sanders. He is somewhere in between the worst quarterback of all time and the subject of a conspiracy theory of the NFL trying to hold him down, the Browns trying to play their worst quarterbacks ahead of him. Like, he's somewhere in between the worst quarterback of all time and a conspiracy to hold him down and not let him play. Is that fair?
Yeah. I will say, though, I want to make that point again about where are we? 3rd and 5. Late in the game, like a minute left, they're only down a touchdown. He basically, it's not the best pass in the world. It's a little underthrown. But he basically puts the ball in the hands of Larverdale in the end zone. Like, he took the shot. It's one-on-one coverage on the outside. He took the shot. He gave his receiver a chance to make a play, and Chidobe Awuzie breaks the pass up and saves a touchdown. Like, if that pass is complete, number one, Twitter explodes. Number two, we may be having a very different conversation on Shedeur Sanders. Like, it's the Bears, J.J. McCarthy conversation from earlier in the season. Sure, most of what we saw was trash. However, look at this one dime, the clutch play to win the game or get them back, give them a shot to win it, et cetera. Like, it would be a very different conversation, and only for Awuzie just getting his hand in there and getting it out of Larverdale's hands, it's like, it's just straight trash, start to finish. There's nothing good.
And we're just the bad media people spending all our time talking Shedeur Sanders.
But that's the play. Like, if you're the Browns or if you're Browns fans looking for anything this season, like, the thing that Dylan Gabriel brings to the table is he's getting rid of the ball quickly. He's trying to offset the bad offensive line, and he's just trying to be efficient and operate within the offense. And the thing they're trying to get him to do is, that's great, love it. However, just take a shot. Be a little bit more aggressive. Push the ball down the field. You got to make a couple of big plays sooner or later. Otherwise, what are you even doing here, right? Shedeur Sanders, the thing he brings to the table is he will take a shot. He'll give you, if he reads single coverage and he hangs in there just long enough to get rid of the ball, he'll take a shot deep down the field. The problem is, like, the coaching points for him are going to be, dude, what you can't run out of the back of your own pocket, and you can't hold on the ball for an hour every play.
His interception may have been a slight miscommunication, but Nate Wiggins is sitting on the throw, and he's under pressure. He threw one right to Kyle Hamilton. That Kyle Hamilton should have had some questionable decisions in there in the limited time. But curious to see what happens if he does get a start next week, though, against the Raiders.
Like, the flaw for each guy at the moment is crippling. Like, neither one of them can be starting quarterbacks in the NFL because of the current flaw that they possess. Dylan Gabriel simply will not push the ball down the field enough to make him worth it. And Shedeur Sanders has a prohibitive relationship with the pocket in a way that just doesn't work at the NFL level.
From a Ravens perspective, really quick, it was a sloppy game for them. I mentioned the muff punts, the pick six on a drop. I mean, they're just fourth down. They looked ugly. Mm-hmm. They survived.
Yep.
Against a lesser team. They're 5-5. They play the Jets and Bengals the next 2 weeks. I keep setting this up for they go to Pittsburgh or face Pittsburgh in December twice. They got to play better, though. I think if they're going to beat the good team. When they face good teams again, Pittsburgh, New England, Green Bay, got to play better if you're the Ravens. But they survive.
Derrick Henry finally has more career rushing yards than his 4-year college career.
High school career?
Sorry, high school career.
Unbelievable.
He does, however, need about 40 more touchdowns to surpass his high school total.
His high school numbers are insane.
They really are. He had 155, I think, I'm remembering that correctly, rushing touchdowns in high school. In a 4-year high school. Can you imagine being the poor 17-year-old kid having to tackle that guy?
No, and legit recruiters wanted to move him to linebacker. Which I mean, you're like, you don't get too many guys this size that stay at running back. Let's move him to linebacker. He'd be the next LaVon Kirkland.
It does make you wonder, though, how many of these guys that just get changed position because it's like, you're going to be a freak athlete as a defensive end. But how many of them, if you just left them at running back, would still be monster?
Would be awesome.
Would be, Christian Okoye at the next level. You're like a 270-pound running back, and it's working.
We got to move on. We got 2 big games to discuss. Had to talk about Shedeur for an hour.
Yeah. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.